The Texans have just made a sneaky good signing as they add more depth to their already stacked defense. And we're going to give you details as to why this new addition makes so much sense for DeMeco Ryans' defense. All that and much more in this video of Texans Digest. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Donovan Ricondo. We appreciate you joining us as always. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have not yet subscribed and you want to stay up to date on all of your Texans content, go ahead and do so now. We are trying to make this daily videos for you guys to keep you updated on your favorite H-Town team. Now, last night, the Texans signed a former Ravens standout Arthur Maulet to a contract yesterday. Free agent CB Arthur Maulet tells Cameron Wolfe that he signed a one-year deal with the Houston Texans. He's healthy and there for training camp. Maulet had a strong 2023 season as Ravens slot cornerback and blitzer, but was limited to 3 games in 2024 due to injuries. Maulet is looking to repeat what he was able to do in 2023 for the Houston Texans. And that is a great sign of a player, trying to get back to where he was 2 years ago. So it's good to know that we have a player that's a little bit more motivated to prove to everybody why he deserves to be on an NFL roster. The former 32-year-old veteran played in just 3 games last year for the Ravens. As I just said, he played a key role in the AFC North powerhouse in 2023 as the team's slot cornerback. During that stretch, he played a total of 407 snaps and recorded PFF defensive grade of 70.3 and a pass rush grade of 80.3. Before his stint in Baltimore, Maulet spent time with the Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Jets, New Orleans Saints, and Indianapolis Colts. And you're probably wondering, what kind of role is he going to have here in Houston? Knowing that our secondary is pretty much set from last year, especially Pitre working that slot. What is the purpose of bringing in a guy like Maulet? And Sports Illustrated's Dylan Miltovich breaks this down fairly simply, which makes a lot of sense as to why they made this new addition, saying, quote, "With Maulet joining Houston for the 2025 season, he will be an additional veteran with playoff experience in the Texans' secondary rotation. 2022 second-round pick Jalen Pitre did a fantastic job as the team's slot cornerback last season, as he finished with a PFF defensive grade of 74. Maulet is a perfect defender that can play in third-down situations as a blitzer for head coach DeMeco Ryans' defense." So that, in a sense, is just going to is what this signing is meant to be, right? It's not someone to replace any of the guys we have now. That's not by any means. We have our guys. That's who we are going to run with, barring any injuries. And so it's good to have a guy like Maulet, who, of course, if someone does get hit, goodness forbid, right? You still have a veteran who has experience, 32 years old, who can get the job done and be a solid backup in that aspect. But the primary reason for this signing is to give DeMeco Ryans a little bit of leeway, a new tool to use in his defensive schemes. Arthur Maulet is a very good blitzer in the slot. He does that very, very well. It's sort of his specialty. And so to have that in your back pocket at crucial, timely third downs is always a good thing for DeMeco Ryans. And so to kind of utilize that, to have that kind of a little bit of a secret weapon on the defensive end is a great thing to have for this defense. And when you're competing against very, very tough offensive teams in the AFC. And so in considering that, Arthur Maulet provides some good things to have for the Houston Texans. He was a little bit of a wandering guy in the NFL. He playing on a series of short-term deals during his career. It took him until 2022 for Maulet to secure a deal carrying a 7-figure AAV. The former undrafted free agent reached that mark on 2 separate Steelers contracts, as well as his Ravens accord. Financial terms of his Texans agreement yet are not known. But it would come as no surprise if it were to check in at or around the veteran minimum. And so that's also the good thing of this signing for the Houston Texans. It's nothing that is expensive. He's not a player that's going to cost a fortune. We were getting him on a very a low bargain, and considering what he can provide for this team is a great thing for the Houston Texans. I just see this as another W for the Texans defense, as they are already looking very, very solid with Will Anderson Jr. and the workouts and with training with Myles Garrett in the offseason and him preparing for this next season. That's all looking good. You still have Danielle Hunter, who was just in the top 100 players in the NFL, according to a new list, who was the reason why you traded him for him last offseason, rather, to provide just more, more meat on that defensive line, just a guy who can get sacks and make the quarterback move. And so that combined with Pitre, who is going to still be that slot guy for us this season, but just still having a guy like Maulet is just, backup, right? It's just more and more backup to make sure that this defense is still, right, is holding itself accountable to do what they know that they have to do in order to get past the AFC South, get past that wild card round, get past that divisional round, and make a real run in the playoffs for the Texans. There's been a lot of questions as to can they get this done considering their offensive line, but I do think it all does start with your defense. Can your defense keep you in those games? And this signing is just more of a indication that, hey, this front office is trying its darndest, right? Is trying really, really hard to make this a solid, sound defense. And adding a guy like Maulet who is trying to insert himself back in the NFL, game plan timeline, make sure that he is back to where he was just 2 years ago, is what he's trying to work on. And to bring that to Houston, his experience with Baltimore, who's always had a great defense, known for being a great defensive franchise, is good to have it for him to bring that experience here. It's another veteran to just get these guys in line. And so I really like this signing. I feel like there's no reason to hate it. It's a very cheap signing. It's a guy whose specialty are those third downs, who DeMeco Ryans can use as a blitzer. And so I see this as an absolute W for the Houston Texans. I do think this is a great signing. Hopefully, we see Mlet play throughout the season a little bit to see exactly what he's made of. Of course, there's the preseason games, so Texans fans can get a better indication as to what he can do for this team. And so I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you do think about this signing. What are some things you're looking for in Maulet? And do you think this was overall a good signing by Caserio to make for this team? Let me know down there in the comments what you think. With that, that pretty much wraps up this video of Texans Digest. We have a new Texan, and we're glad to have him. Welcome to Houston, Maulet. We appreciate you signing that deal, and we can't wait to get to work. So go ahead and leave in the comments what you think about this new signing. And we'll see you on the next one for Texans Digest. I am your host, Donovan Ricondo. We'll see you on the next one.